Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Today is September 29th, and it is Monday. Hopefully, all you guys had a wonderful weekend, and hopefully, all you guys had, a great day at work or school or whatever you do throughout your day. Outside of that, though, I'm doing pretty well. It's definitely been an interesting day in the news world. And I'm still a little sick. We're making it through. We're getting there. But not sick enough to the point where I can't make videos. So we're here. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well, though. It's been a very interesting day. And if you're new here, please subscribe as we are on our way to 500 subscribers, and all the support would be greatly appreciated as we try to hit that goal by the end of the year, hopefully. If not, or if you're on Substack, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like food, like clothing, like all that. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support. And with that being said, let's get into the news from today. I definitely did three fingers there when I shouldn't have. I just realized that. Anyways, moving on into the Trump administration segment as we do. The only topic we have in the Trump administration segment is Trump has announced a 100% tariff on movies. Trump has once again threatened to impose a 100% tariff on all films made in the US, claiming that the American industry had been stolen. Once again, he took to Truth Social writing, "Our movie making business has been stolen from the United States of America by other countries, just like stealing candy from a baby. California, with its weak, incompetent governor, has been particularly hard hit. Therefore, in order to solve this long time, never ending problem, I will be imposing a 100% tariff on any and all movies that were made outside of the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America Great Again, President Donald J. Trump." As someone who doesn't really watch American media, if the industry is dying, I would not be shocked because it's really not that great. Sitcoms are, for the most part, boring to me at least, and most movies put out these days aren't the greatest. I mean, you look at Marvel, thinking about one like the Black Panther 2 movie, I watched that recently for the first time. And it just wasn't that good. I did not enjoy it. I was not involved in it. The last time I was really captivated by a movie was the Minecraft one, and that one wasn't even really a good movie. It was a majority like brain rot, it was not a good Minecraft movie, that is for sure. Most of the things that they put out in Hollywood these days are general slop, and it's not very good, uh, which isn't shocking. I mean, there's a lot of AI, there's a lot of struggle with animators and writers or actors with strikes and all of that. But like, it is not shocking to see that this industry is dying when other countries are putting out greater stuff. I mean, I personally watch a lot of anime. That's the things that I watch in my free time or like YouTube. But, you know, I enjoy anime a lot. I enjoy the fight scenes. I enjoy the animation behind that. I enjoy the plot. I enjoy the storylines. And those are kind of things that you really just don't get in American media. Sure, you get fight scenes. Sure, you get all that. But like, watching Naruto and Sasuke battle it out, man, that's way cooler than watching Iron Man and Captain America throw hands in Captain America Civil War. It really is, in my opinion. But I don't know. I am not shocked to hear if the American music or if the American film industry is dying because it's really just not that good these days. Again, this is my opinion, but I've tried to watch American media and I just don't enjoy it. Anyways, moving on to our other news segment, as that is where the bulk of our news is today. We have quite a few topics, actually. Um, Essentially 2 pages of topics. So let's get into it. The first one being MAGA is upset that Bad Bunny has been chosen for the Super Bowl halftime performance. MAGA is upset over the NFL's pick of Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl halftime show due to the artist being a quote unquote Trump hater. In a statement, Bad Bunny said, "This is for my people, my culture, and our history." But many MAGA influencers have voiced their opinions against this due to him being a Trump hater, being anti ICE, and not having songs in English, I guess. I don't listen to Bad Bunny personally. His music is not my type of music. I don't listen to a lot of rap. Um, you know, Not my thing really. I think my most listened to like genre right now might be jazz on Spotify, but I listen to a lot of rock and stuff like that. Rap, not too much. There are a few artists, but uh, it's just not my type of music. But it's very easy to understand why the NFL did this. He is essentially the top solo artist in the world right now, if I'm not mistaken. And the NFL cares about making money and getting clicks, and without a doubt, this will do that for them. So I'm not surprised by this in the slightest, and I doubt MAGA will be able to ever recognize that fact. But like another thing that's not being talked about, from what I've seen, is that like he's an American citizen. He's from Puerto Rico. He is an American citizen. There's no reason why he should be getting all this hate when he is an American, just like the rest. But they're not the smartest. In other news, drones have appeared above a Denmark military base. Random drones have been seen above military facilities in Denmark. This has raised concerns of a potential Russian involvement due to the drones flying over other European airspaces. Danish authorities have called this a hybrid attack, but said there's no evidence to suggest any Russian involvement. The drones have not been shot down, which is why they are unaware of the origin. This is very interesting, and as Russia has been violating other European countries' airspace for essentially the past few weeks, it's not shocking to hear. If it was Russia, something needs to be discussed about that by NATO, because last time I checked, Russia and Denmark do not have a border together in really any way, shape, or form. So there's no reason why these drones should be off course flying over Denmark. That's just not what should be happening. That doesn't sound possible. Granted, we don't know if it was Russia, but with the amount of Russian drones that have been violating other European airspaces, I'd say it's a pretty good chance, at least. But the drones the drones as a whole have been a really odd thing, and I really hope they get talked about more because we shouldn't just let Russia do as they please, especially when it comes to allies or the countries that we work with. Because it would not be a great thing if we lost a bunch of allies to Russia. Granted, they're not that strong, and they would definitely lose to NATO, but I mean, still, like it's not that great. In other news, EA has sold Electronic Arts, also known as EA, has sold for 55 billion to the Saudi Arabia public investment fund Silver Lake and Jared Kushner's affinity partners. This is the largest leveraged buyout in history and will take EA to a private or make EA a private company. This also values the shares of the company at $210 per share. The firms buying EA will contribute to 36 billion, and the remaining amount will be financed by loans. EA boss Andrew Wilson, who will keep his job after this deal, said in a statement, "Together with our partners, we will create a transformative experience to inspire generations to come." This is either going to be a great thing for gaming or a terrible thing for gaming, something EA is already pretty familiar with, so I wouldn't be shocked if they stayed on that path. Um, Something I do think we need to consider, though, is that Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is taking a role in this purchase, and you could say somewhat of a large one, is he's one of the main purchasers of it. Which is interesting. I really do think that is, and I don't think that will go very well, in my opinion, at least. But I'm sure that we'll learn that when we see MAGA hats in Call of Duty or something. I wouldn't be shocked. As a whole, EA hasn't really done the greatest as a company. It's kind of been a lot more cash grab focused, which sucks. I mean, I play a lot of Madden personally, and the past few Madden games have just been the same shit over and over and over again. And even the college football game, I didn't get the second one, but from what I've heard, it's been the same shit as the last one. They don't really change much. They're just kind of putting out the same game, branding it as something else, and selling you a bunch of cosmetics. It's a waste of your money. It really is. And that's kind of been the EA really um, what's the word? Blueprint. I don't know why I lost that blueprint for a couple years now. I think about since 2017, 2018, maybe a little earlier. And it is unfortunate, and it has had definitely a large toll on gaming. But hopefully we can see a change with that here with this new purchase. Maybe. I doubt it, though. In other news, YouTube has settled with Trump for 24.5 million. YouTube has announced it will settle a lawsuit with Trump for 24.5 million after he was sued for having his after he sued for having his YouTube account banned in 2021 after January 6th. YouTube claimed this was because the content he had been posting had concerns of the ongoing political violence, but his account was reinstated a few years later in 2023. This is the last major settlement with Trump since his string of bans on social media due to the January 6th incident. and all the other things that came with his trying to get him out of office. This is what I mean when I say Trump is good at dragging things out, if you will. Granted, the American legal system also doesn't help with that, with how fast they work. They are horrendously slow, but we have seen in a lot of cases that they can work pretty quick. So it really kind of is shitty. It really is. I think most of us realize that at this point, and have for a while. Uh, you know, uh, Trump has learned how to master that legal system, which is all props to him, I guess. But it sucks. It really does. Should he have won? Probably not. There's probably no reason why Trump should be getting paid $24.5 million from YouTube. But that's most of the lawsuits he wins these days. So there's not much you can really do about it, unfortunately. Of course, he won a lawsuit against Twitter. He won the one against Paramount. I think he won once against Instagram and Facebook as well when they banned him. And this is the last one, which is very interesting. But it is really just standing proof that Trump is not only capable of dragging these things out to essentially get what he wants, but also like he is capable at wasting people's time, which is unfortunate, truly. Anyways, moving on into our final topic for tonight's the Michigan church shooter has been confirmed to be a Trump supporter. The gunman who killed at least 4 in the Michigan church shooting yesterday has been found to be a Trump supporter and even having a Trump sign in his yard and being pictured wearing Trump merchandise. Google Map images display a blue Trump sign on the garden shed or on a garden shed on the side of his home in Burton, Michigan, which is 15 minutes away from where the shooting took place. Family photos on Facebook also show pictures of him wearing a re-elect Trump 2024 shirt with the logo "Make Liberals Cry Again" on it. Excuse me, sorry. This once again displays, the constant of white cis men who commit these shootings throughout the country. It's a big problem. It really is, and it's a testament to not only the mental health struggle we have in this country, but so many more issues we have when it comes to gun laws. We're yet to know the motives when or of this attack, but it is so dumb to me that the only thing people on the right can say when it comes to this is we have a lot to learn. It is hypocrisy at its finest. It really is because clearly you aren't learning anything. Truly, like you're not learning anything from this. What do you mean you have a lot to learn? In case you didn't see, Trump was the one who said we have a lot to learn on a True Social post the other day. Other than that, though, thank you all for watching today's episode. It has definitely been an interesting one in the news world. Outside of that, though, hopefully all you guys are doing well. Repping the Broncos jersey today because the Broncos are having a game right now. Watching all the people go by. I'm in Denver for college, so might as well represent the local team if I have a jersey. It's one of the few in the collection that you can maybe see back there. Hold on, we'll move back. You can kind of see my jersey collection back there. Um, you know, I haven't been repping them as much as I used to, but I might bring that back. I don't know. I like wearing jerseys. It's something I enjoy. I just haven't really been able to plan outfits with them, but I'll figure it out. I'm sure I will. Outside of that, though, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you are new here, please subscribe. As mentioned, we are on our way to 500 subscribers on YouTube, and all the support would be greatly appreciated. Drop a comment as well and let me know your takes on the news from today. And if you're on Substack, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like food, like clothing, like all of that. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. It means the world to me. So thank you all for watching today's episode, and I will see you all